Morning, everybody. Welcome to today's live stream. Let's get recording this bad boy. So, where to begin with Bitcoin? Daily trend is still defined. Just going to do a top-down analysis. It's an upward parabola, and I know that the swing low of the parabola keeps adjusting itself to the downside. But hey, slow starts, my friends. Overall, we are seeing that compressionary period that is pretty indicative of, well, exactly that, compressionary periods. Bull flags if you want, where we have significant trend followed by compressionary period with a apparent downward break followed by trend continuation. I would not be surprised if we saw the same thing, where we have significant trend followed by a brief downward break and then more trend continuation. However, that's just looking at fractals. There's really not much actual technical analysis that backs up that theory. We'll have to play it step by step with just how this looks from here. With that in mind, 4-hour chart's a little muddy at the moment. We're not really getting significant readings on the 4-hour. However, there is significant overexpansion on the 1-hour chart with its relative mean inversion condition to boot. With that in mind, with looking at 3D wave PM, we can identify that the current longest overexpanded period is 40, but that compressionary period is already finished. And now we're actually just seeing the range trading of the CLCP, which is actually a much cleaner reading than the longest overexpanded period. So with that, range trading is your best bet, at least for the rest of the day, where we have the swing highs identified by our green bands and the swing low identified by our green band, right? So we have a mean inversion condition, which is virtually completed, which is excellent. We have the initial leg down, followed by lateral mean inversion, and that condition is technically completed, where we have gone below the 0.7 value as of yesterday, which means trend continuation is possible in either direction. With that in mind, I would be a little bit careful if we have a further downward break here. Going down to 8,500 is possible. Just be aware if that supports breaks, it's likely we'll see significant selling action. So do be careful. Don't overexpose yourself at this time. I am personally long at this moment because I simply believe trend continuation is the most probable result. However, we'll have to wait and see. It's a bit of a money chart today, so I am a little bit hesitant to actually call anything on either alts or Bitcoin. We do have that super obvious trend line we should be wary of. I would not be surprised. Let's draw that a little bit better, shall we? Because I'm sure this is on a lot of charts. And we just have had this high volatility directly on top of that pivot, so I wouldn't really give that too much thought. Now, what is important to note that here on the 1-hour chart, we did have a bearish break from a super obvious bull flag, and the resulting pop of volatility that resulted from that is to be expected, right? If you have a very obvious structure like so, right, this bull flag, if you will, guarantee you there's going to be a lot of stop losses above the flag for short orders, and there's going to be a lot of stop losses below the flag for long orders. So when we actually had the significant break, interesting. We had the initial pop of volatility, but then there's actually very little selling pressure following it. That makes you think, doesn't it? Right? If you have a bearish break from a flag, shouldn't it just immediately start trending? Isn't that what a breakout is? So that raises some questions. If you have a significant volatility pop to the downside due to the compressing nature of a structure, and then you actually have very little to no selling pressure directly afterwards, well, goodness gracious. Does that really imply that there's much selling pressure at all? I don't think so. For the time being, That's why I do have a slightly bullish sentiment. Of course, as soon as we actually see a continuation of either up or downward move, hopefully we'll be able to get a bit of a clear reading. However, again, there's just not much we can do with this wave PM reading. Like over here, this downward break was very pronounced. I mean, it happened in a single candle, so we couldn't really trade it, but it was nice. Again, all I can say now is just that there will be range continuation based on the CLCP. So with that in mind, let's take one last look at that range, just so we can identify some static values for the moment, at least for what you should try to short and what you should try to long, okay? Currently, I do not expect price to go above 11540, and then I don't expect it to go below 11215, okay? So, if you just want to draw those support and resistance lines on your chart, they should hold at least up for the next 12 hours, I'd say. So it should be a quiet day. Of course, if we actually have a significant break above that value, do expect trend. If we have a significant break below that value, do expect trend. So we can bet on that new expansion to occur eventually. And once we actually do break that compression range, we'll be able to take a very hefty position in either direction. So really, either trade the range or trade the breakout of the range, okay? And I'm talking about confirmed breakout, okay? Since this is a volatile range and a mean reversion condition, albeit technically completed, you still need to be wary of volatility pops on either side because, again, there is predictable liquidity surrounding these values. And because of that, I don't really feel like playing anything today. It's not the kind of chart I want to trade. So, be safe, be careful. Don't take any huge risks today on either alts or Bitcoin. That in mind, somebody asked me to look at Ren earlier, so I'll do that. Shoot, man. How do you define the swing low for this? Like, it's obviously one of the only uptrending coins right now. I would be really hesitant to actually try anything at this moment, just because the trend line is a little too obvious. There have already been 2 significant wicks to the downside. Okay. So if we place an alert above and below these values, we might be able to catch direction. I'm actually not going to set an alert for the downside because I don't really care if it breaks down, only if it breaks up. With that in mind, let's check the YouTube comments. What do you guys want me to look at today, eh? Music is louder than my voice. Cool. Alright. That's it. That's all I have to say about Bitcoin. Yeah, apparently I switched, yeah, that's cool. Alright, that's it for today. Thank you, TradingView folks. I'll talk to you later. Oops, I did not mean to do that. I'm still live streaming. So, where to begin with Bitcoin? I should pop this out so I don't have to keep going to the screen, eh? Pop out chat. Alright, you've got 30 seconds to ask any coin requests or the stream is over. Keeps adjusting itself to the downside. But hey, slow starts, my friends. Overall, we are seeing that compressionary period. Oh yeah. Pretty indicative. I'm recording desktop audio so you can hear that. I should pause it. I had my eye on Bread and BCPT, and both broke out really effectively. Also, is Bread a lot higher volume than it used to be? Yeah. Huh. This sustained move has me interested, but too late in the trend to buy it. Yeah, so Bread and BCPT are on my watch lists, but missed out on those two. A lot of risk right now. EVX has me really interested as well, I'll be honest. It's a little obvious, but man, those volatility pop at the upsides are something else. That's 3%. That looks 15%. I might call it. It's a nice chart. It's an obvious chart, but hey, sometimes you gotta take them while you can. Alright. All right, that's it for today. It's been a pleasure. I'll talk to you all folks tomorrow at 1 p.m. MST. Have a beautiful day. Ciao.